Back then the Tangshan earthquake, the Japanese tsunami, the Indonesian tsunami. Do you know how many people died in the Indonesian tsunami? Who suffered the most loss of lives in the Indonesia tsunami? The locals, the tourists, and especially the Chinese tourists. Who were the first group of people escaped? It was Europeans and Americans and Canadians. People from civilized countries have basic education and awareness of natural disasters from an early age, as well as education about earthquakes, so they fled. In communist China, from the Tangshan earthquake to the entire Sichuan earthquake and the Wenchuan earthquake, when all the disasters come, most of the Chinese people are. Firstly, they have no basic knowledge of natural phenomena. Secondly, the CCP doesn't want them to know the truth either. Thirdly, the people are so ignorant that they are happy to see others die. The CCP has said again and again that trials and tribulations rejuvenate a nation, that is, a nation rises from the death of more people. If fewer people die, the local government wins. If more people die, the country wins. This is what Wen Jiabao said during the Wenchuan earthquake, trials and tribulations rejuvenate a nation. That's why the Chinese Communist Party considers the death of 50 or 60 million people in Sichuan and Tibetan areas as the beginning of the country's prosperity. It's just that there are fewer people digging for wild vegetables and cordyceps, so it's less of a burden for them. And it gives the CCP an excuse to make more evil policies. And then more so-called relief, just to make more corrupt officials get richer. It's called a way of balancing wealth, using nature to balance the dead. So, what was Wenchuan and yesterday's Sichuan earthquake? The monkeys were running all over the mountain. What were the people saying on their mobile phones? There are too many monkeys. They've come to steal our food. The locals saw it as a joke, and then the earthquake hit. Many people were buried alive in the mountains of Sichuan. Many of our fellow fighters in Sichuan, including government officials, said yesterday that there were countless people buried in the mountains, and that no one could count them because the mountains had collapsed and they were disappeared. And the government doesn't allow counting the dead, and now the CCP does the most. Delete posts, delete posts, delete posts. No speeches allowed. Control the media. Shut up. This is the sorrow of all Chinese people. Brothers and sisters, when you die, you don't even have a name. You won't be remembered for a week. You won't be remembered for even a second. If you see it, you are forced to shut your eyes. If you know it, you are forced to shut your mouth. The dead is really worse than an ant.